Good morning, afternoon, or evening. Whenever you are watching this video, this session is going to be about sustainability. We are going to learn about global warming and what is sustainability, why it is important, what are the main pillars, and how should we look at this topic in a wholesome way rather than a narrow way that we try to approach. You can use it for your revision, you can use it to learn something new, and I'm pretty sure that if you stick till the end, you will get to know something new. Now let's talk about the three pillars of the sustainability. For pillars, the first is environment, economy, and social impact. All of them together makes up for sustainability. Now, oftentimes we think that it's only the environment part, but no, it has economy and social impact as well. We are going to discuss about all these pillars in detail in the coming slides. Let's move on. So let's see the first case case study about sustainability. Now, oftentimes we forget about if we take care of one pillar, then there is social and economic pillars are missed, and this kind of problem happens quite often. Let's see it by an example. So there is a building in Lancaster West Estate in North Kensington in the UK. It's a 24-story tall Grenfell Tower. We all know about it very well. It opened in 1974, as you can see in image A here. Later on, it was refurbished in 2016. You can see it in the B. The facade is totally changed. The outer facade, obviously, there were some internal changes as well, but the major change was in the facade. And a fire broke out in 2017, just roughly an year after the refurbishment. Now, it didn't happen since 1974 till 2016, but just when the refurbishment happened, it caught fire. We'll get to know why in detail. So a fridge caught fire about 5 to 1 in the morning, and the fire reached the facade through the window about 10 past 1, and the fire reached to the top of the building. On It was a 26th floor building, top of the building, within 15 hours. Now let's have a look in detail that what happened. Now the materials those were used, they were economic, yes, so one pillar was obviously followed, but the materials were not safe. It was although called sustainable because it was relatively cheaper and somewhat environment friendly as well. But the material was proved to be fatal in many other countries, but people didn't take heed of that. You see, the polyethylene core and the aluminum sheet together makes it a very flimsy facade. The moment the fire caught in, it acted like a funnel, and the fire rose up very quickly, and the whole facade was melted down very quickly as well. If you want to see some good facade examples, Bolognacci building work by Kier is a good example. You can refer to that as well for good practices. Now let's come to the introduction. So on the one hand, we think about commercial risks such as cost overrun, project delays, and regulatory compliances. And these are potential risks that might come. But on the other hand, we think about sustainability as well, which has environmental impact, economic impact, and the social impact of the project on various stakeholders. Now, which way should we go? That's the main problem. And the project also has various other factors to take care of. Now, when we think about any project, there is available time, there is complexity, and uncertainty on the next stage. Now, we want our project to be at the very best point, which is where we have lots of available time, the complexity of the project is very less, and it's less uncertain. The uncertainties are very, very less as well. But on the other hand, there is least desirable situation where the complexity of the project is very, very high, the available time is less, and there is loads of uncertainties or risk associated with the project. We should aim to get, or realistically we get, the projects which are somewhere in the middle. It's not too complex, we have enough time, relatively enough time, and the uncertainties are also under control. Now, why do we need to take care of all these factors is because a building is not simple. it is very complex. In a substructure, then there is superstructure. There are various types of load, whether it is live load, dead load, snow load, lateral load, wind load. um, so we have to take care of so many things, so we cannot go very fast. But one must ask that, what about the materials? What material should I use? Or maybe what design should I use? Or someone might ask that, what about the commercial success? We should not ask one question or another. We should always ask about the synergy between these three: the commercial design, the commercial success, the design, and the material as well. So it's synergy about all these three things, not one or the other. Now, in recent times, the construction industry uses more than 39% of total global energy consumed, and about 11 more than 11% goes into the material manufacturing only. It contributes towards 40% of the global carbon emission. Means, for in the whole world, the global carbon emission, direct or indirect, it contributes about 40% of that. And that is some number that we should always keep in mind. So it plays a very vital role in if you want to do something towards glo- global warming, if you want to reduce that. It's also on the net zero agenda of 2030 in UN climate change conference. Now, let's understand what is global warming, and then we'll get to the first pillar of sustainability, which is environment. So, this is Earth, right? And there are various activities that happens on Earth, whether it is traveling, whether it is industries, housing, oil mining, and all of these contribute towards gases or carbon emissions. And these gases are going nowhere. It is stuck in the atmosphere for a very, very long time. When the sun rays comes towards the earth, and when it tries to go back, it gets trapped inside that atmosphere, and that increases the temperature on a daily basis. The global warming is a real threat which is increasing because of these gases and carbon emissions on a daily basis. Now, the short wave radiation comes from the earth and goes back, and that's how normal earth should behave. Whatever the radiation is coming, getting absorbed, how much, whatever amount is necessary, and the rest of it goes back. But what's happening these days is, because of these clouds, these rays are coming back and getting trapped in the atmosphere. Because of that, there are weather patterns, changing weather patterns. There is The winter is getting too cold, the summer is getting too hot, the rain is not coming on time. So these problems are coming. There are heat waves in many parts of the world. There are droughts as well. The crop cycle is ruined because of irregular rain. The polar caps are melting very fast and creating uh, high sea levels. Now, let's talk about sustainability in construction. Now, what does this word mean, sustainability? It means that we use the resources in such a way that we leave our next generation the same amount of resources that we had access to. That's what sustainability means. Use it in such a way that the next generation to come have the same amount of resources that you have, if not more. Now, we generally do refurbishment, or we do new construction as well. The first pillar of the sustainability that we should think about is environment, which is, so any sustainable structure should have the least impact on the environment during its whole life cycle. Now, about life cycle we are going to talk a little bit later. Materials can be used such as bamboo or other materials which has negative net negative carbon impact on earth, or have low embodied carbon or embodied energy. We are going to talk about embodied energy and embodied carbon a little bit later as well. The next is economy. Whatever project we make, that should be cost effective. should be value for money and profitable. Now, for all the stakeholders, that includes the client and the constructor as well. Remember, nobody is going to care about sustainability if it is not beneficial for them. It has to be beneficial so that ev everyone is willing to go the extra mile for sustainability. And the last is social impact. It should create local opportunities. It should give jobs. It The project uh, should hire the people from the same area. The materials that you use should be procured from nearby vendors and so on. These can have quite a good social impact, and all of them together make sustainability. Now, these three pillars are essential for any project to be called sustainable. Now, environmental factor, the first is when we talk about environment, we talk about indoor environment improvement, like the indoor air quality and the water facilities and so on. All the materials that we use should have low embodied energy or carbon. In short, if I explain embodied energy and embodied carbon, embodied energy is whenever wherever the material, whatever you are using, wherever it is getting manufactured, from that point on to the point that you received it and used it and so on, what what is the amount of energy it is using throughout throughout its life cycle is called life cycle embodied e- energy. And till the point it reaches you from the factory to you, that is its embodied energy. So embodied energy can be of various types. We are going to discuss about them as well. It starts right from the mining of the material till the point that you are getting it. That's its embodied energy, how much energy it consumed to produce that, and then it traveled right at you. So all the way it is called embodied energy. Similar is the embodied carbon as well. The next is water efficiency. We talk about the taps, we talk about the quality, talk about the plumbing system and so on. Energy generation and usage efficiency, the bulbs that you use, the way that you use the appliances, what kind of appliances do you have, how long is the wire and so on. Similarly, there are other factors such as waste management, the greenhouse gases that you are creating, the material efficiency that you are using, the land efficiency. All of these factors together makes up for an environmental factor for a sustainable structure. Now, what is the importance of environment friendly structures? It improves the indoor air quality and ventilation, which is good for you. You have to spend less on cooling your building, heating your building, or humidifier, dehumidifier. All these costs can be reduced using environment friendly structure. So it's good for you. It saves in energy and tackles energy scarcity as well. Then next, saves the environment with less embodied carbon. We talked about it. Embodied carbon is the amount of carbon that is expelled in the atmosphere from right from its mining to the time it reached you. And the next is catalyzes the general awareness as well. Now, what is the second pillar? Second pillar was the economics of the structure. Now, it safeguards the resources and resilient to financial uncertainties throughout the life cycle of the building. We are going to talk about life cycle in a bit, but life cycle is in general, if you talk about life cycle, it is right from the start of that product where we start mining from for the raw material till the time it is destroyed or reused or put in the circular economy again. Now, uh, it should generate profit for everybody included. It should have show economic growth. There, there should be risk management during the project and before the project as well. It should be financially stable, the project that you are doing, and there should be significant cost saving throughout the life cycle of that project as well. And research and development is also a part of economics of the structure. All of them together makes the third pillar, or if you may call it second pillar interchangeably, that's also all right. And that's the pillar. If one of the pillar is not working, or two of the pillars are not working, and only you are focusing on economy, obviously this is not going to work and it's not going to be sustainable, right? So remember that whenever we talk about sustainability, we talk about all the three pillars and not only one. It's not always about economy, because it's not going to work that way, and the structure won't be sustainable. And why is that important? It's important for the society, it's important for the environment, it's important for the stakeholders as well. So economic gains should not come at the cost of sustainability. Now, what are the social factors? It improves the local economy using tailored supply chain. You should use local vendors to for raw material, and this way it generates jobs in the local area as well. Using, we talked about it, and the local investment as well. Whatever you now, every project that you do in a locality is a kind of investment in that region, isn't it? So that's the third pillar of sustainability, which is social factors. It overall improves the standard of living and individual satisfaction as well. Now, looking into it in detail, equal opportunities and local specialists, we should use local specialists for our task, and we should give everyone equal chance in the local community. Maintaining local, historical, and modern urban fabric is a part of social factors of sustainability as well. The design should be inclusive. The design should be people oriented and not only for the profits. Like, very very easy example of this, or very um, apparent example of this, every building kind of should have a ramp and a stairs as well, so that it's accessible to everybody. Accessibility means, uh, build it in your project, you build it in such a way that everybody, no matter what their physical capabilities are or what their other restraints are, they everybody should be able to access all the services inside your building. Next is lesser impact on the local biodiversity. That biodiversity includes the trees, the animals, the plants, everything inside your site. Now there has been many good designs where people have included the local trees inside the building. They didn't cut all the trees and plants, everything, but they build their project around it. So try to do that. Try to build your project around uh, biodiversity rather than removing the biodiversity and creating your project on top of that. Now, last is education. For this is also a social factor for sustainability. In general, all of these point together creates an empowered society and decrease inequality. Now, 6 R's, when we talk about sustainability, remember these 6 R's. First is reduce the amount of waste that you're creating, reduce the amount of resources you are using. Think about where can you reduce. A very good example, if you want to read, is from Toyota, the Six Sigma rule. Do look at it. They talked about the seven mudas as well, the wastes. Rethink on all the materials that you use. Think about, do I really need to use it? If the answer is yes, think about, is it the best material or the most efficient material considering sustainability? uh, should I change this material and use that instead? So rethink upon the material that you're using. Reuse all the materials that you can. Or oftentimes whenever you are doing, let's say, let's say you have brickwork at site and there is a lot of brick bats remaining, you can use that brick bat to make LCC, which is lean cement concrete. So you can use waste material in multiple ways. So think about how you can reuse the waste material or the good material again and again. Refuse all the materials that you think are not suitable. Don't, you don't have to think twice. You can refuse the vendor, you can refuse the practices, you can refuse a specific material and so on. Recycle all the waste that is coming out of your site and segregate them as well. And last is repair. Everything that you do on site, everything that you leave behind should be repairable as well. If that doesn't, if there is something that is not working, people should be able to easily repair that. Do not make uh, very complex steps to repair something. If it is complex, make a manual for it as well so that others might read it to repair it on their own. Now, the next, if you see, is life cycle assessment. We talked about it. Yeah, life cycle assessment starts from right from the extraction of the material, then when it gets manufactured, then when it is distributed to various places, then we use it and dispose it. All of them together calls for life cycle assessment. Life cycle assessment starts from the mining of the material to the end of that product's life, where we dispose it or reuse it, whatever. That's the whole life cycle. Let's have a look at this life cycle assessment in detail at the very end. Now, sustainable structures minimizes environmental impact in all the phases of building life cycle. Let's have a look at the life cycle. The first is product stage, where the raw materials are acquired. It's transported to the factory site where it is manufactured. The product is manufactured in this first stage, which is product stage. The next is construction stage. Then that material from or that product from the factory is transported to the construction site where it is used. For example, take brick. The raw material can be clay. So first the clay is dug out, then that clay is transported to the factory, then a brick is made, then the brick is transported to the site, and then it is placed there. So these are the two stages. The third stage is usage stage, where we use the material, then whenever it is needed, we repair the material or replace the material. We do refurbishment on top of that. We use now this use can be in sense of the services as well, such as energy, operational energy. For example, take a water cooler. That water cooler, the plastic was made, then it came to the factory, then your water cooler was made, then it came to the site, then it was used, repaired, refurbished, whatever. During all this cycle, it is using energy as well. But operational energy is only when it came to your site and you started using it. Operational energy is different for different appliances. The next stage is end of life cycle, when it is unusable or you don't want to use it and it goes to the waste processing. uh, it can be demolished, it can go to the waste processing as well, it can be reused, recycled as well. We are going to talk about that as well. Whenever you are going to recycle or reuse that thing, it goes into circular economy because it comes to the life cycle again. When you are reusing it for a different purpose or for the same purpose at a different site, that also comes under circular economy. And this is the last and the most important part of life cycle assessment. Whatever you use at your site, remember and think about it, that how can you reuse that material or recycle it properly so that it can be converted into a different material. Operational energy is generally much higher than embodied energy, so it is very important not only to think about the material which went into creating that thing or that appliance, but also how much energy it is consuming. Operational energy decreases with improved technology. Obviously, the LED light is a good example. You remember 20, 30 years ago, those yellow bulbs, filament bulbs we used to have. As compared to that, as compared to past 30, 40 years, we have grown a lot. And now we use LEDs. LEDs are much more energy efficient. And that is how technology can save a lot of operational energy as well. Now, these were the main points we discussed today. This was the overall concept of sustainability and how should we look towards sustainability in a wholesome way. Now, remember, you can ask any question in the comment section, and there is no question that is small, and curiosity is the main thing. So, if you think that I made any mistake, do write that in comment as well, and I will surely revise that point and let you know that I have corrected it. Mistake can be done by everybody. So that's there. I'll see you in the next session. Take care. Bye bye.